Welcome back, everybody. My name is Phil Marriott. This is an entertainment channel. Today we're talking about movies and we're covering the BFI London Film Festival. I'm joined by Raj Rudolph. I'm getting tangled in my mic lead. We are Boys on Film, and today we are talking about Relic. It's directed by Natalie Erika James. She's also one of the writers alongside Christian White, and it is her directorial debut.
Interesting. I didn't know that fact. So yeah, whole new thoughts around the film now.
What did you think of the performances, first of all?
Oh, I thought all the performances were really good. And in fact, if you're going to ask me to review this movie, my review is simply 2 words: creepy AF.
It really was. It really got under the skin. Let's talk about that because, well, it's obviously billed as a horror. I think it could mislead people that go into this film thinking that it's going to be full of jump scares and lots of gore. I don't think it's really that kind of film. Well, it's certainly not that kind of horror anyway.
There were a couple times where I was like, oh my gosh, like, jumped out of my chair a little bit, or was like, surprised. But yeah, this movie was really creepy.
But one element of that, and I think it's a crucial part of this film, is the sound design. I think the sound design was so creepy. We heard banging noises, like whistling wind and creaking wood. It was really creepy, and it felt really old-fashioned as well. Some of the set designs, they used a lot of greens, a lot of browns, much like Guillermo del Toro's films. It felt very old and musty. You could almost smell it. It smelt really old. Some of the scenes that I really found memorable were the nightmare scenes, the dream sequences, which I think were terrifying. I think humans' development and the way we interact with each other and how we grieve and how we have these fears of losing one another, particularly, because it's a mother and daughter relationship and they're not getting on, parts of this film too. I think that's a scary thing in itself. It can be quite frightening.
And I thought the woman who played the mother, so the grandmother's daughter, or really the central mother figure of the movie,
Emily Mortimer.
I thought she was quite horrible to her mom in the way she treated her. Everything her go-to is like, let's put her in a home. Let's, we're too busy for this, and at the very end, it all came together when, I can't talk about spoilers too much, but it all came together and you saw her give into that tenderness that's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And that last scene, there's a last scene, and I thought that was really grotesquely tender.
Should we talk about the story? Because people watching this that don't know anything about the story are probably thinking, what the hell are you talking about? It's basically a story about a family. Well, it's a mother and daughter who find out from the police that their grandmother and their mother, Edna, is alone in this house that they've now left. Well, the daughter's now left. They find out that she hasn't been seen for a while, and there's a concern that she's not okay. So they go to the house, and initially she doesn't appear, but then eventually she does appear, and it's all a bit bizarre because she's not behaving in the way that she's meant to behave. She's behaving quite strangely.
Yeah, creepy AF. That's all I can describe this movie as.
There have been comparisons to The Babadook. Have you seen The Babadook? Because I can see those comparisons, and I thought that was a fantastic film as well. But saying that, I did take a lot of my friends to The Babadook, and they were all thinking, oh, this is going to be a gruesome, violent, really scary horror film. And it wasn't that kind of horror film. It was more, psychological, something that, you leave and think about for a good few days afterwards.
Yeah, definitely a thinking man's horror film.
Yeah.
And totally deserve it. It's getting lots of attention on the film festival circuit. So a lot of people are chatting about it, and some are even saying it's the best horror film of the year. So
wow.
I'll leave that accolade to you, Phil, because you're the aficionado on horror films. But I thought it was a very well done horror film for what it was, especially from a first time director.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it would rate as a great horror film, certainly, but it's not the sort of horror film that a lot of people think of. That's what I will say. So that's not really a warning for people that are horror fans. I just think it's quite refreshing, I think, in this age for something to scare you that's not necessarily the typical horror film that we think of.
Yeah,
I think it's something that really does get under your skin because you're thinking thinking yourself, you're thinking what scares you. I mean, what scares me is losing loved ones and friendships and relationships in the family just kind of, you know, falling apart. I think that is equally, I think that's just as scary as some, you know, like a ghoul or a demon that can come out at you. I think it's more terrifying sometimes.
Yeah.
Did you know this was produced by Jake Gyllenhaal?
No. Wow.
Yeah, he's one of the producers in this. And you're seeing this quite a lot in films and TV shows as well. You're seeing a lot of these big celebrities like endorsing stuff and putting money behind productions.
Well, they gotta spend their money somehow.
Yeah.
That's a trade-off. So definitely go see this movie if you have a chance. If you want a good movie to sit in the dark and be creeped out by, while it's raining outside, this movie is right up your street.
Yeah, I thought it was superb. It's one of the best things that I've seen, certainly at the festival this year, the London Film Festival. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Oh, we agree once more, Phil. 8 out of 10 from me, too.
We've got to stop doing this, Raj. It's getting predictable.
Actually, we never agree on our rating. So,
and it's an hour and a half, which is, you know, the typical length of a film. I think, you know, a lot of filmmakers do overstep the mark. I think they can push it too far. We see a lot of 3-hour films that I think can definitely be trimmed. And there's Jacob, bless him.
Jacob's like, why didn't you include me in the Stray review?
We got the full shot of him now. He's gorgeous. He wants to see more movies.
Exactly. He's been watching the movies with me. So we watched Stray together. You liked Stray, didn't you?
That's so cute. So it is called Relic. It's directed by Natalie Erika James. We give it the big thumbs up, 8 out of 10. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and like this video if you've enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next one. More BFI London Film Festival coverage to come, and hopefully more of Jacob as well. See you next time, Raj.
See ya.